If you gain weight from too much chow, I will never call you a cow. I respect you and cows.
Don't use cow as an insult.
If you eat every single fig, I will never call you a pig. I respect you and pigs.
Don't use pig as an insult. Animals are innocent. Don't be speciesist. Never use the name of an animal as an insult for a human. Animals are
Don't be speciesist. That is a word I never wanted to know existed. I'm pretty much a vegetarian, and even this disgusts me.
It's true, he is.
I know.
Veganism disgusts me. Vegetarianism disgusts me. This video,
Really?
most of all
Really?
of it.
You're even anti-veggie?
I've never seen the video, though.
I just love
That's the first time I've heard it.
dead animals.
Oh man, see that's messed up to me, but I'll let it slide because I'm not a good vegetarian. And by the way, I know first of all it's Papa's Basement. Thank you for joining in.
I love dead pets. Album of the year.
What?
Oh, Miley Cyrus. Have you heard about her new concert venture?
No.
Where everyone in the audience and the band are
Gets
going to be naked and they're going to be sprayed
Let's
with milk.
do it!
Really?
I don't know about milk, though. That sounds gross.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, we
wanna-
talked about milk.
I just like if you've ever seen how hairy my chest is, like milk getting in that.
Yeah, it sticks with you.
Yeah, like I'd be able to like twist it into little like rabbi payets or like little Marley dreads, really whatever I felt like a little Superman
Cream it
curl
for everybody.
like
You
right
You'd
in the
probably be the most popular person there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like a
Could
kind
let
of
everyone play with your chest hair.
what is
Charge
it like
$1.
Billy Beard or whatever, the whole magnetic shaving guy, and you would use the magnet to move the filings around.
Yeah.
I would be that, but flesh. So that was a vegan rap called Vegan Rap Video ! Question mark, and one last exclamation point, just to be safe. And yeah, I'm a big puss, so I don't like killing animals, but just seeing that video makes me want to behead like the pig from Charlotte's Web, Wilbur, Al-Qaeda style.
Yeah.
Because that who wouldn't want to do the opposite of whatever that rap
That just
commands
pisses
you to
you
do?
off, yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of want to rap that way.
Do it. I think
As
we
a
should do
white
a
person from Minnesota.
rap video for our Patreon.
I guess that's a redundant sentence.
Yeah, no. There's like a huge not to bust out my NPR chops. Let's get to this right after we do the intro.
Sure.
I'm John Papa Giorgio. The show's Papa's Basement. You can find us on inpapasbasement.com, every episode we've ever done. But if you do iTunes, like that's the best way. Leave us a rating. In theory, like in 25, 30 years, we'll have like 200 ratings. And, I like actual shows will have 3,000 ratings by then. So we're getting left behind at an exponential rate. But
Slow but steady.
there you go. We're like a legless tortoise. But if you all breathe on us hard enough.
Or if we flip over and kind of scoot our way back on our shells.
Exactly. Like a dog working its pooey ass on the carpet. Yeah. One of these days, we're going to get there, baby.
Scoot our way on up.
My co-hosts today are, introduce yourselves, people.
Pete, maybe?
Kelsey Butterworth.
We're all on Twitter. We try to be funny there. I'm at Papa's Basement there. He is...
At Pete, maybe.
Well...
Oddly enough.
That was creative. And
I'm at Is Butterworth It?
There you
Question
go.
that may never have
I
an
like
answer.
that one.
so now, to get back to what you were saying about the whiteness of Minnesota,
Yes.
there is actually a huge Somali population in Minnesota now.
No way.
God bless
Yes.
them. They'd probably stick out like sore thumbs.
Just a little. And there's actually a really big problem, especially in the Minneapolis area, with Somali people going to fight for ISIS. And so they have to do like a
Yeah.
lot of work. All the imams are like, hey, you know what's better than fighting for ISIS and smelling like dude balls and sand for the rest of your life? Sex with a blonde. A big-chested Viking-descended blonde. That just beats the living hell out of a bunch of dudes who probably are going to have to resort to
Now,
homosexuality.
how do I get to do this?
To the gay thing?
No, the blonde.
No,
Oh.
you asked about the other part.
I did come in at the wrong time.
Yeah. Well, for that, there's several clubs in D.C.
I know. I'll ask Clive Barker.
Go to
From the
town.
last episode.
There's certain streets where I can dump you off, and 8 hours later, you will have a big fat stack of cash.
I'm going to make some money.
He would be a little money-making twink, wouldn't he?
I would like to think so.
You just have to, play it cool. Be a
And have
little
a business
evasive.
plan.
A lot has happened since we last recorded. We record every week. Sometimes it's weeks where like we nothing happens, which means I didn't write down anything that happened. All the prep was for naught, and
Same.
we come up with the show like when we're in the studio. And other times there was like a big packed week that happened, and we have prep. And this is one of those packed weeks. There was the Democratic national debate.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what is there a national in there?
I don't know.
There's not.
It's Democratic debate.
But then you can call it D&D,
There.
Oh, I like
and
it.
that's a lot better than
I
what it
would've-
actually was.
Then I would have watched it.
Yeah, and when coming back from break, Anderson Cooper could have gone dun dun dun. Thank you. And so we have that. We, of course, all Halloween month long, as we're calling it, we're reviewing really bad horror movies. And this one was just horrible. I apologize. I'm not saying that to be funny. Like, it was playfully bad. It was campy bad. Like, what's a campy bad? Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. That's campy bad. Where you're like
the original Buffy, the movie.
yeah, okay, exactly. It's kind of crappy, but like tongue in cheek. You know that they kind of were like aware of the fact it was junk and they were having fun with it, and you can get some chuckles. We watched Curse of Chucky.
Yes.
And Curse of Chucky is on Netflix. It was a straight-to-video release. That fact will
Really?
not shock you if you're more
No.
than 30 seconds into the film. And it was just really, really bad. And we hope that you guys watch. We told you all week long to watch it. And if you watched along, we'll be discussing Curse of Chucky.
We're also sorry.
The
Yeah.
real curse.
We're sorry you
was
had to
the
watch
movie.
it.
It was bad. I mean, it was... I don't know about you guys. I had to power through it. Like the last half hour, I just kind of let like play on the iPad that was on the pillow next to me because I have no companionship. And I drifted off to that. And like kind of like when I really was passing out. I was
Lucid.
like, yeah, I'd like flip the iPad back and I'm like, did anything happen? No. And I'd
Nothing yet.
toss it. Yeah. And I finally blacked out during the credits. And
And then the whole thing finished.
Lots of hate watching.
Oh, so bad.
it
Lots
was
and lots
really
of hate
weak.
watching.
We also have
I had
like
to drink a lot for that.
these two over here think that they can do a killer Bernie Sanders.
Oh, no. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
This one does.
No.
They both started talking about their Bernie Sanders impression right
No, I
before
did
we
my
went to
Obama
air.
impression. You were not listening to my Obama impression, which was out of this world.
Well, it doubled as a Bernie Sanders impression, so obviously it was killer.
John's going to start.
I want to just throw them under the bus a little
I knew it.
because it's fun like that. And
I can't do it.
Vladimir Putin had his 63rd birthday. There's some funny stuff that came out of that. Tons of stuff. Again,
Well, he's
it's-
just a funny guy.
he's a hoot a minute. I mean, for real, if you just Google Vladimir Putin holding pets, and there's a lot of like pictures of him shirtless clutching
probably a whole
puppies.
Tumblr
You know,
for
the
that.
man has aged well. Say what you will about the fact that he is maybe clinically insane, but he's aged well.
That's what happens.
He's keeping
when
it
you
tight.
Eat the flesh of your fellow man.
Yeah.
The
Gain their
collagen
powers.
enters your veins.
Yep.
Exactly. We watched.
Highlander style.
I paid attention during Hellraiser. Ate
that
flesh like
too.
good. Well, we also have the hip young take on the street with today's kids. That's Butters report. the
That
hip,
should be a
the hip
continuing
young
thing.
Butters report. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by how the millennials are their reaction to Columbus Day, which
Yeah,
was brought up.
Speaking of politically horrible murderer characters,
Yes.
hate him.
as we always are.
That came up in my final screenwriting class, and let's just say the kids on the street today who listen just for the hip young Butters report, they have a strong opinion of Columbus, which totally blindsided me because I could care less about the dude. I'm just like, oh yeah, you're the guy that discovered that day off for me.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, it's the principle of the thing.
My mom got a colonoscopy. That was funny. And last but not least, Lamar Odom is currently probably close to dead, but we haven't made that determination yet.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've probably felt like that a couple times too.
Oh,
you felt like that?
you
or
got
you've-
loaded at a. I love
Yeah,
how they.
I got
ended
loaded
up-
in a brothel before, and I felt like I'm probably not going to make it through the end of the weekend.
You know what? Maybe I'm going to let you slide on this, and I'm not going to make you do your really horrible Bernie Sanders because you were
Yes.
good to me. You bought me a book today. That counts for something.
Maybe I'll do it at the end.
I really didn't have much to do, by the way. I was just going to play like a Jackie Mason clip because my mom watched the debate and was just like, he sounds like this old Jewish comedian. I can't think who. And then she came up with, he sounds just like Jackie Mason. Bernie Sanders does.
He totally does.
I think like all older Jewish people age into having the same voice.
Yeah.
Like by about 70 or so, they all sound like a cantor.
Like Larry David.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny phenomena, but I want to do Lamar Odom first. And again, we're recording right now. It's Wednesday. I'll probably upload this next Tuesday.
A lot earlier than we usually do them.
Lamar's corpse will be in the ocean like Bin Laden's by the time this thing airs. But right now, Lamar is hanging on for dear life.
Yeah,
He
keep
does
hanging.
deserve a proper sea burial.
Keep hanging on, because we don't want it to be too soon.
Well,
At least
give
it a week or something till the episode drops.
Give him the Terry Schiavo treatment, where he's just like kind of like not even reacting to a light right in his eye. Like
and we just have cameras on him forever. And
yeah, like
Yeah.
you could put a boat light up to his eyes, and his pupils would still look like saucers. That's just you could be that unresponsive, but keep the machines breathing for him until this episode comes out.
please.
And then you can dip him in hummus and nibble on his fingers. Because he's a vegetable.
I hate you. You've made everything bad and nothing good.
I love it.
So, Lamar Odom
That makes me want to
apparently.
go vegan.
When I say Lamar Odom, what do you guys think about why? So you can suck on black men's fingers?
That's it.
There's places in D.C. for that. Do you
Make
guys
more money in New York.
Do you guys think Kardashian? Do you guys think basketball? What
Well,
what
I
comes
would
to
think
mind?
basketball, but
I think the
it's
wide world of sports,
That's
also,
even if he's only played one.
but also, it's hard to
That
ignore
show-
the Kardashian fact, which I feel maybe drove him to that.
well.
I would be insane if those people were around me.
Pierce Morgan actually did an excellent article on that my mumsy linked me to, where he was going on and on about the fact that Odom, I didn't realize it was just quite such a connection that like Odom was really great until he proposed to Sasquatch Kardashian 30 days in. And by the way,
30 days, wow.
30 days in. I hate that Sasquatch has gotten like so much surgery and other work that she doesn't like really look like Sasquatch Kardashian anymore. She's
No.
like kind of attractive, and like Kim is starting to almost get the weird like Joan Rivers, Michael Jackson. If you fart on the bridge of my nose, it will melt away because this is fake look.
She's looking a little taut.
Yeah, like everything's being pulled, and it's like you're 35 and you're Armenian. Like you almost have black
Yeah, you
people
should
aging
be.
powers.
Yeah.
It's you're supposed to hang in there. Like really, Kim should have just gotten like, the Angelina Jolie treatment where they like kind of straighten out your nose. Which again, here's a Papa's plastic surgery tip: if you cough up for one thing, it's the nose. That alters your appearance more than anything. Just get your nose done and get the fake hands. Stop there.
Those are pretty sweet.
The problem is once you get the knife work, you just want more. You're like, who goes to the gym and actually stays with it? If you're a dude and you're younger, especially, but you're like, I just want to put on like a half inch on my arms. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and I finally got to the gym,
Yeah.
I was insane about it. I was like doing Rocky-esque, where I was like drinking egg yolks in the morning and like,
No, I never did that.
oh really?
That's gross.
Oh, I went nuts with it.
Did you get salmonella from that?
No. I lost my
We live
kidneys
in America.
yeah, for another reason. No, I don't think salmonella does that, and it wasn't funny if it does. My point is, like, getting back to Lamar, I remember him as like a dude that balled straight up. Like
He's a baller.
as much as I worship at the altar of football, and if you're not football as a sport, go home, dude. I mean,
Get out.
yeah, that's like just being the Ringo of the sports world, except it's a mix
I'm
like
a
a
sports fan.
There's a John Paul mashup who's in the band, and then the rest of it is 8 Ringo stars. That's how I feel about sports. You can be football, and like somehow you're some hybrid that has like D cups and a 14-incher, like you're that pretty, or you can be just Ron Jeremy, but like tucking it in, so he's got nothing. NBA
Interesting.
Do go on.
NBA playoff basketball is the only other thing that I kind of give a damn about. I don't really care about hockey. I used to when I was a kid. I don't anymore.
Hockey's pretty cool.
Baseball, let's be honest, we're not a bunch of like young Bernie Sanders chilling out. And
I like me some baseball. Way too many games. It's so hard to stay involved. I actually kind
yeah.
of like that fact because you could just kind of walk away and be like, there's like 50 more.
It's a pastime because it's mindless.
Yeah.
I feel
basically.
like if you're not like an Irish or Jewish or Italian street tough in Brooklyn in 1942.
You guys want to play some stickball?
Exactly. Like if you're not listening on a little radio as like, Al Capone's murdering people behind you, what's the point? Like, that game has passed us by. It doesn't matter anymore. I'll let you on a little secret. There's football and it rules. But there's also, for a brief, well, it's not so brief, about 6 weeks, there's NBA playoff basketball. And that is great. And Lamar Odom was great.
I can dig it.
And the dude gets into Khloe Kardashian, and all of a sudden, was it Khloe? It is Khloe, right?
I don't know the other two. I can't tell them apart.
There's Khloe, there's Courtney, there's Kim, there's
Was it Courtney or Khloe?
Constantine.
Because then there's Kylie.
Oh, that's Kylie Jenner, though. She's on the other side of
Okay,
things.
my bad.
there's Kristoff,
They're
It's
not
the only one I care
related.
about right now.
there's Carl. Who are the rest of them?
Carl.
Carl Kardashian. Don't you? He's the weird one that they keep locked up.
Crimpin.
Yeah, exactly. Crumpin Kardashian. The whole thing is like, all of a sudden we're hearing about like, what, his mom died when he's 12. He can't stop hitting the crack pipe. I think he was like blown as a little kid. I don't know what's going. All of a sudden, this guy's life is a wreck, and you're like, wait a minute. This guy probably like had women in every area code and was a king on the court. He's got 2 rings on his fingers, and suddenly he's with like just the Godfather 3 of the Kardashians, and like spilling his guts like a bitch. I know that wasn't politically correct. I meant it more in like the way that isn't offensive to women.
I think like she broke the mental block that Professor X put on his brain when he was having a great time.
Oh,
and
she
she
took
just
off
came
the
in there
Magneto helmet?
and just destroyed him. Was like, no.
It was like
everything's not all right, and you're married to me.
it was like Tiger
really not
Woods.
all right.
It's really not all right.
Yeah, after Tiger Woods like turned off the P tap, like, you know, all of a sudden it's like,
My game sucks.
yeah, look at all, you know. I don't know what your reaction was when Tiger Woods got busted and like his wife like puts the golf club through his rear windshield and is losing her mind. But like all that came out was like it seemed the secret of his success, his spinach, if you will,
Sleeping around.
yeah, was like,
Well, I mean,
blame
it could
him.
also be that his entire career and PR image were destroyed, and everyone thought he was a
Not
terrible
true.
person and a villain.
Not true. He was getting his power from the P.
I disagree. I disagree with the P.
I think he had what worked for him, which is like a family life. And then he was able to do all these hijinks on the side. And it's like, is it sleazy? Yeah. But that's how his brain balanced. And all of a sudden it got out there. And I think like Tiger Woods stopped focusing on golf and started focusing on like fidelity, which is great for like human growth, I guess.
That's not a game.
But yeah, like fidelity don't get you a Nike contract. Like he started focusing.
You were the Tiger Woods of fidelity.
He started focusing on like, I need to be a better person. I need to like keep it out of other women. And it's like, no, you're Tiger Woods. You need to focus on that thing that makes you great because
Exactly.
no one wants to see you half-ass it. And I think that same thing happened with like Lamar Odom, where it was just like, we just want to see you shut up and play ball. And all of a sudden, Courtney comes along, and it's like, oh, the new focus on my life is finding weird guys that I can say are my best friend. Didn't the dude who played his best friend on Lamar and Khloe or Courtney? Whatever.
I don't know.
Which one it is.
Was it the one who took New York? Someone takes New York. Someone takes Los Angeles.
I don't know. There was like a little stubby Arab-looking guy who like played his best friend.
They had
I
some
think.
loser friends, that's for sure.
And I think he died of an OD a while ago.
God.
So the Kardashian destruction radius, that's like some Nagasaki stuff, man. Like
Thousands of casualties.
Yeah.
Skin melting off.
And it's like, what's so weird is how much press it has gotten that Lamar is currently in a coma. Like, I listen mostly to NPR during the day. And this thing, NPR, National Public Radio, really tries to pride itself on, you know, look at us. We're so, like, talking about, like, the missile that took out that flight in the Ukraine and crap like that. Every goddamn break was Lamar Odom found unresponsive in a legal brothel. I like how they mentioned that it's legal.
brothel.
Yeah.
The man's got standards.
And they kept saying filled with liquor. And I heard the words herbal Viagra 15 times today if I heard it a 1.
How else are you supposed to get rid of Whiskey D?
Yeah, what is herbal Viagra?
I don't know what it is either, but I want to try it.
Its sales just went through the roof.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, man. Like, I mean, it's the same.
I can be responsible with it, damn it.
Well, it's the same way
guys
that,
see
yeah,
me?
Belushi died of a speedball, and I think
I won't be
that
on the next
weekend,
episode.
speedballs were probably a hot mover in the drug community.
Yep.
I just, it blows my mind what big news this was, and you feel for the guy, because, like, dude, he's in a coma, and it's like, no one can shut up about it right now. And I just feel everyone's periscoping. I'm just looking at people type. I love it.
That's right.
I know. Do you guys, like, it brought home to me, like, here's where it got really bleak with me. I was going to say really black, but that could be confusing.
Yeah.
It got really bleak with me because everyone's like, he's 35, he might not make it. And I realized, like, I'm 6 months maybe from 35.
Well, why did they say, like, 35, he might not make it? Like, that's,
well, no, they're just saying
getting a little too far.
They were saying he's dying, maybe, quite possibly, and that he's 35.
He's not a wrestler.
And of course, well, yeah, exactly. He wouldn't have made it to 35 if he was in the WWF. Those guys have the lifespan of border collies. They're dead by 16, man.
No, I got cats that live longer than a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly. Except for your cat, Eddie Guerrero.
I'm trying to think of a cat name. Later.
Sorry, I just wanted to let you twist on the wind for a second. Snowball, too. So my point is, after hearing this for like the 10th time, and at first I'm just like, oh, that's bad. He can't beat his addiction demons. And this guy, like, embarrassingly enough, people won't shut up about the fact, like, every time. It's not just like he was in a coma. He was in a coma in a brothel. And then it became like he was in a brothel run by, who is the guy that does Cat House on HBO? Dennis Huff? Dennis
I don't know.
Franz? Dennis the Menace.
Dennis.
But they're like,
Rodman.
yeah, they're like run by Dennis such and such. And then I heard one report where it was like he was found by employees. I'm not kidding about this. Like Trixie Doolittle and Goldie McJuglick.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they really gave both of these like the hookers names.
Hey,
It was
John.
insane.
John.
Yeah.
Hey, everything went dark.
Yep.
What?
I hear nothing. I see nothing.
How are we on the mics?
Your mics are fine.
Okay.
Like everything's rolling here.
Sorry. We're dead on this side.
Yeah, I can't hear things.
Sorry to interrupt this, guys.
Oh.
We're dead on this side.
I apologize if you want to pull headphones. That
we're
might
going Braveheart like John.
It was horrible. Welcome to my hell.
Raw dogging it.
I'm sorry.
If
sorry,
one of
John.
you want to
Continue.
grab that.
Hey, we're back.
So, yeah, sorry about that. Oh, you're back on already?
Yeah, we're back on.
Oh, well, that's just what I was saying
That's
about
the magic of the show, baby.
Yeah, God forbid, I was just going on about how reliable this station is. Fairfax County Public Access, everyone. And,
Come on down.
Yeah, it's been crapping out the last couple weeks. But they couldn't go, like, when Elvis died on a crapper, I don't think everyone was like, Elvis died on the crapper. They're just like, Elvis died. They left out the gory details. And yet they're like, with Odom, and I realize this isn't exactly the JFK assassination, but they couldn't shut up about the fact he was like found by, like two whores.
Oh, but that's nowadays, man.
Who are known for doing the ping pong trick.
Technology has really changed a lot of
There's
things.
no couth.
And that was like NPR, again, which really tries to be like both hoity and toity.
I feel like sometimes they tread that line.
Wow.
You feel like they're talking about a subject just a little too much, and you're like, well, yeah, it's gonna pull enough clicks.
Oh God! Well, they stepped over the line and took
really
a
did.
runny coffee dump.
I couldn't
this
listen
time.
to it today.
Well, you missed like a goddamn death vigil for Lamar Odom as we learned more and more about how on herbal Viagra and booze he passed out in a legal brothel. God,
that's crazy.
Had I taken a shot every time I heard those words,
I
would have been doing almost as much drinking and driving as I normally do.
Yep.
What? What? Who said that?
Nobody.
Nope.
A ghost.
Nope.
So yeah, and then I started focusing on like, he's 35. Even if he dies now, he'll have done so much more than me. And I just started like boo-hoo-hooing for my own life.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Because I'm like, what have I done? If I croaked now, if I took a bunch of Chinese D pills and went comatose in the arms of two harlots, who would remember me? I wouldn't get this
Not a bad way to go out, though, man.
you would definitely make the local news at minimum.
Oh, God. There'd be like impotent podcaster dies by his own hand.
You know, I've got some Street Fighter herbal boner pills, by the
Street
way, if
Fighter?
you did want to try them.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send a picture of them.
Are they called
Heather,
like Tiger Uppercut?
It's almost what it seems like, but it's Chun-Li and I can't remember.
These are actual
Ken.
like Street Fighter boner pills.
I don't. They're
If these
they
are
don't
fake,
support
I'm just
it.
gonna hang
They don't
this and
support
dry.
it.
So what?
But
You have like
it's
Asian
on the
boner
package.
pills.
On the package. Yeah, it is Ryu, and he's just nailing Chun-Li.
Where did you?
I will show you.
Finishing.
They're in my other car.
Where
I don't
did you
know
get
if we
it?
Finished her.
Where'd you get it?
Centerville.
What, like some?
Centerville is some gas station. I was like, this should do the trick. I haven't tried it yet though, because I was like, my heart will probably give out.
Okay.
I want you to like
What?
drink.
Yeah, I didn't try it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry,
Likely story.
I put Flintstone vitamins in.
Well, you need to tweet a photo of that like yesterday. You have
I
permission.
already
to leave
have one up there.
You need to leave the show
You guys
now
gotta
to retweet it.
Got to follow me. You got to search for it.
No, there you go. That's amazing.
There's a catch.
So
That's it.
if I
You
go
can-
to one of those like creepy Asian 7-Eleven knockoffs, I can get the stuff that killed Lamar Odom. He's dead.
I
I'm
don't
just
know
gonna.
if it
I'm
was
calling it
that
now.
stuff.
By the time you hear this, he's dead.
Oh,
I've got hope.
well, let's hope.
Poor Lamar
Just
Odom.
hours after. We need just some sort of grace period. We can't be blamed for this, John.
What? Like me playing Grim Reaper?
Our ill wishes.
Like
No,
he's dying as you say
This is
that.
the curse of the
and
Kardashians.
The timing lines up exactly.
I did nothing. I'm like
It
one
is
of
all their fault.
I'm like one of the Egyptian guides next to the white dude that cracked Tut's tomb, and I'm like, don't do that. Oh, and then he goes back to England and gets hives or whatever the hell killed him.
A lot of the stuff I didn't really like was a lot of the news outlets were just saying what the reactions of the Kardashians were.
Oh, they couldn't
They
tie them
just
in fast
couldn't-
enough.
And they were like, it was
Who
like the tagline was
cares?
like, they don't know what to do.
Who
How is that
cares
news?
What
Nobody
stupid
knows what to do.
hashtag laden tweets this talentless family is coming up with? You know how talentless the
It's insane.
Kardashians is? And I don't want to go down this road because obviously
Nobody's done it before.
if everyone, yeah, exactly. First of all, just fresh take. Second of all, they are talented in that they've managed to outlast every other reality horror show a million times. Like, who cares about Paris Hilton? Who cares about Lindsay Lohan now?
Because apparently you can get caught doing horrible things, and on this reality show, your ratings just go up. I mean, think about it. With any of the other, they're like, oh, they're getting divorced. Kate +8, whatever. They're like, all right, forget about them.
and that's the kiss of death.
But like, it could be, they could do just terrible things on this reality show, and it could only help them.
Maybe
so
we should start doing that.
We really should.
you
Well, see,
view
the thing with-
gender transition as
Never
a
like-
horrible thing. That's what you're saying here.
I didn't say that.
Uh-oh.
But I'm just saying, like, sex tapes. Like, Duggar's getting, like, dragged under the bus, which I'm not supporting the guy
For banging
what?
his sisters?
Whatsoever. Well, that's true, too.
You're
But,
taking
like,
a lot
being,
of sketchy
shut up,
stances here.
Shut up.
And having an Ashley
No, but
Madison
being
account.
the Ashley and Madison account. Okay, yeah, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, if one of them was to do that, they'd be like, well, no big deal. It's
So-
only they've only been married for 3 weeks.
Because
What's
Kim
the
had
big deal?
sex with a black man, you're completely against the family.
You know what? F this. I'm out.
Okay.
You are out.
I'll say one thing where they really, really are talentless. You guys have actually watched the Kim Kardashian sex tape, right?
No.
Yeah, I have.
How does a woman that good looking release that boring a tape?
They all do.
I mean,
Have you seen Paris's?
I kind of liked Paris. Like Paris,
I didn't think it was
at
that
least
bad. She was kind of fun.
iconic. Yeah, with like the green, like Zero Dark 30 look to it. I'm like, that's like a new American thing.
She's like talking on the phone. Just like,
Yeah, like she looked kind
Take
of
a
like
bit of this,
dirty
talk on
doing
the
it,
phone,
and you're like,
take a bit of this.
wow, Paris has like a bit more up top than I thought she did.
yeah, she looks good.
Like Kim looks like the laziest
little boring.
F that ever effed. Like she really is just like, I'm lying back, and you just better be thankful you're here.
I do not like when a celebrity crushes the mystery that they are not a good lay. Because that's what everybody's saying. They're like, this must be the best sex anyone's ever had. And, just let down. I don't really dig
Doesn't
it.
that make you feel better about your own life?
No, because I'm amazing in the sack.
Well, naturally.
So I feel like we just match up.
Again, there are places I can drop you in D.C. where you can pay for a
Trying to
year's
make that
worth
money.
of the show's hosting. I don't know. I was debating this earlier with you guys off air. I was thinking to myself, would you prefer to be Lamar Odom, who like kind of lived it up for a while, but he's like dead at 35, or to be, who you are now, where you're like, maybe nothing's going to happen, but hopefully, especially Butters over here, who's like,
I've still got my youth.
18 years old. Yeah, by the time you're like 40, you're going to have like cyber eyes and a gear heart. And
Yeah, I'm totally sticking around.
She'll be like some steampunk horror. You're
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
much
a
going
little
to be
upset. I'm not
Bioshock
gonna,
Infinite
get
come to
the
life.
cure for all the things
Shiny
that are
chrome.
going to ail me, but I think you'll get them.
What's
But I'm
that?
sure that the generation before me said that.
Oh,
I won't be here for all the cures that will
No,
ail me.
we'll
but
be
somebody
dead.
else.
You might
just
come in on the
younger.
tail end of
I'm
it.
hoping, yeah. I want that lung cancer vaccine.
Okay, you're so gone. You are
I'm
so
done,
gone.
man.
You need to stop that
I can
stuff.
stop now.
immediately.
It doesn't. That's done.
Burning them.
Done.
I know some Chinese pills that'll clean your lungs right out. It's made out of shark fins. It'll take care of your lung cancer. It'll give you a rod.
God, I'm so hard.
Got you covered, bro. All right, so this will sound weird, man. I'd be cool with like punching out young if I knew that I had done something.
But it also comes with a traumatic childhood. Is that something you're willing to
I
go
already
through?
had the crappy childhood. I guess it wasn't like crappy
Were
by
well, that's a personal question.
Lamar Odom. Wouldn't I say it?
Did
Yes.
your mother pass away when you were 10 and
No.
a stranger molest you? I mean,
Oh, he did get diddled?
I don't know. You said that.
I think he did. No.
I don't know his backstory.
My dad died when I was 20. That was enough to F me up, though.
That's pretty bad.
So I need to like turn that tragedy into something. And then I can
Into comedy.
die full of dick pills and vodka.
Yeah, don't turn
As
it
he
into
would
dick
have
pills and
intended.
vodka.
So you are
the
nay
answer.
on the early death.
Nope.
What's up?
Jay.
What is my answer?
Yeah, would you die?
Cut and dry.
Would you die to punch out
Cut and
like
dry,
famous?
no. I just don't like the fact that I wouldn't know that I was going out on top. Because I think.
How about your Tupac then?
But I don't think
If you're
he would.
Tupac
I
and
don't
you're
even
getting
know if
filled with bullets.
he doesn't know he's as popular still as he was
Well, maybe he's somewhere
But-
smiling down on us all.
on
So wait,
Illuminati
when
Island.
if you crap out at like 75, you're going to be like, well, at least I had a good run, and that makes up for it. Like, I believe.
I think
in, like,
I think a little further down the road, burning out's the way to go.
okay, because I personally, I think when you punch out, it's as black as Lamar Odom. Like, it's just gone. You're pieced out. So when it happens now and it happens later, really doesn't matter. Like, in theory, I want to live to 100 and be able to get as hard as he was on all those Chinese
for
dick
real,
pills.
yeah. I want to be a cyborg.
Yeah,
A
up
huge
until-
robo-dong.
Up until my last day. But, if the engine from Donnie Darko fell on all three of us right now, what would we know?
We'd probably be touted as the world's best podcast.
Okay, then I really want that to happen.
People would rate us then. That's for damn sure.
Please.
I want it to. I
I'm
would
just going to
appreciate
scooch back a bit. Don't mind me.
you two guys.
I'm going to collect
I'll
on this.
appreciate your sacrifice. The show will go on without you.
Just
But
go to the restroom real quick.
for the rest of October, I'll change the name of the whole thing from Halloween month to Remembering Jay and Butters Week Day. And then we'll move on.
We get a
together
week?
as an audience. I said day.
Oh, day.
It's a totally worthy cause to die
The
for.
first 15 minutes of
Yeah,
that
well.
episode will move people to tears.
All
and
right.
then it'll be
That's
on
enough.
to talk of things like my mom's colonoscopy. What?
Cool.
What?
Something
We
about
were
you
out-
moving that mic
Oh.
is killing our headphones.
Oh, so stay off it?
Yeah, but move it back to where you were over here.
Here?
I swear it's
This,
it. There you go. Stay.
Okay, I'll stay.
Sorry.
here.
Thank
I'll
you.
never move again.
We've been operating blind.
I will
It
try.
hurts my eels.
I will try to stay as rigid as Lamar Odom's Chinese dick filled.
This is
well.
comatose.
Yeah. So that is the final indignity. This is what happens when your parents aren't dead, like Lamar Odom's. You have to do things with them. And I had to take my mommy for a colonoscopy.
That does not sound like fun at all.
Have you guys ever...
Sounds like a crappy time.
It sounds like you're a good son.
Thank you. Butters.
I'm sorry.
I
know.
I caught it. I liked it.
Well,
Don't... Come on, Icarus.
I'm ashamed.
Don't refuse to fly too close to the sun sometimes. So, I took my mom to get her butt pipe looked at. That was the technical term.
Mm-hmm.
Did it.
And the Goombas were blue inside it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but after you get your butt pipe looked at, they put you in like a special wing of recovery.
Because it sounds like a warp whistle.
Yes, it's. I told the doctors, or I'm sorry, the man nurse, whoever the guy was at the desk. I'm like, my mommy had a colonoscopy. I need to check on her. And he's like, oh, she had her butt pipe opened up.
I believe you guys had this exact conversation.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, if your pooper got diddled with, you're in Ward 15, a specific colonoscopy ward. And I was fascinated by that because I've seen people after other procedures, and they are wheeled into whatever.
General population.
Yeah, you can have like a gunshot wound next to someone dying of cancer, or at least that's what the movies show.
Yeah, we've
me.
all seen TV shows.
Exactly. And
you got to fill out a bunch of paperwork.
Yeah, maybe you're next to like an old wise black guy who gives you his like homespun wisdom on his way out.
Well.
Yeah. We can all just hope for that, especially you when you die of lung cancer at 42.
That's for sure.
Because you'll predate
You
the
shouldn't have smoked, kid.
Yeah. you dumb
Thanks.
cracker. You're like, thanks, you SOB.
Finally got you back.
So there is a butt pipe only. If you did a colonoscopy, there's a specific ward for you, and I found that fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked in, and it turns out the procedure, the colonoscopy, revolves around inflating your colon. And I guess the rest of it, I don't know how far that camera goes out. Like,
yeah.
I guess if you're like hitting the back of their teeth, you went too far.
How do they inflate it?
They fill you with gas.
Oh.
I want to
Crazy.
pretend it's like balloon animal gas.
I was just hoping it wasn't like barrel-chested guy on the other end who just has like
Working
a funnel.
on bellows.
Or it's helium.
Or he's just blowing as hard as he could.
That would be great with just a huge crazy straw, killer clown style.
Yeah. And he's going to pinch it off, and, if you don't pinch it off,
Exactly.
it's coming right back.
He pinches my mom's rectum until they're ready with the camera.
Ties it into a balloon knot.
Yeah, and they're like, Fredo, release. And he's like, okay, Dr. Giuseppe. And then they stick the camera right in there to hold the gas. But after the procedure, you need to fart out all of this gas. And of course, everyone is doped up. So they feel a little shame about it, but you're already in like a doctor's gown with your ass out. And it was exactly like the bean scene from Blazing Saddles.
I mean, if everyone's doing it.
My mom was busting ass. The kindly black man that I spoke of was not a creature of fiction. He was the guy that was next to my mom. He was farting too. Oh, I'm sorry. I moved the mic. Are you guys good again?
Yeah.
Okay. And
He was ripping too?
this was my Friday.
Awesome.
It was
So this means you could release your normal amount of gas and just nobody was offended over there.
No.
All you gotta do is walk in the hospital.
I tried to sneak one in. And
I go to the hospital
immediately
and fart all the time.
They immediately went, that is disgusting. Get out now.
You
Because
are
I think theirs
terrible.
was like inoffensive stuff. Whatever they fill them with
You're taking your mom.
is scentless. You know what I mean? It's not like they have to fill their colons with, oh God, Jay's like licking his fingers clean. It's like KFC meets seduction. Really?
Like KFC needs any extra seduction.
Exactly. I didn't need to see that. Please never do that again. God,
Extra crispy.
you are sucking on hard candy right now like a piece of jailbait. I don't.
Thanks, Grandma.
Ew, are you watching this, Butters?
No, I'm trying
I don't
not
want
to.
sticky fingers.
This is like the wrong kind of porno.
I don't want sticky fingers.
I think he wants you to drop him off downtown DC.
Yeah,
I think he's sending you some signals.
you're doing like a demo reel right now to be
I'm not
pimped
disagreeing.
out down there.
I'm going
Okay.
to need this video afterwards.
So it was an intense Friday. I had to endure all that farting, and then I took my mom home, and then I promptly dumped her off while she was still full of anesthetic. So in case she drowned in the tub, I'd have culpable deniability or plausible deniability. That's the second one.
But then you get the house.
Right one. Then I would get the house exactly like the broad on Curse of Chucky. Segue.
Oh my goodness.
I caught what she was laying down.
Yes.
And it loses its magic if I announce it, but I don't care.
Always does.
That's right. It is the last chunk of the show where we are going to go over the Halloween movie that we watched for this week.
And what a movie it was.
I use the term movie loosely.
So sad.
It was a series of moving things. So
Pictures.
They were moving. That's for darn
There
sure.
were people talking.
The clip of Mr. Hands being anally perforated by the horse that rapes him and then like leads to him dying a few days later, that was more of a film than this was. And you're both looking at me like, what are you talking about?
We watched a different film.
There was a guy who was an engineer for Boeing out in Seattle.
Donkey.
And he was his online handle was Mr. Hands.
Oh yeah,
I believe. And his shtick was he liked to get nailed by horsies.
Whoa.
And what happens is, I guess he had like a second dude hold the horse's shaft, like wrap both hands around it like he was on deck. And that way the horsies thing couldn't go too far in him. And
lost his grip, huh?
A little bit. The horse was very enthusiastic. I guess Mr. Hands was quite the looker.
And who wouldn't be? And
he bucks a little too hard, and the dude loses his grip. And you hear Mr. Hands, I very much remember, just go, oh, oh! And then the video ends. And
this exists?
Yeah, if you want to know how weird I am, one time at a party I hosted, we linked up my laptop to a big screen TV.
Let's all share our favorite YouTube videos.
And just played this on a loop.
How many times have you seen this video?
Oh,
1,000?
40 that evening.
Okay.
And
as many as the meat spins?
As many times as it takes. Oh, I always won the meat spin contest. I always got to the point where it flashed, you are gay, and it stopped. No one's losing. I'm in it to win it, baby. So what happened was the horse, when it went in all the way, it perforated Mr. Hands' colon.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
And like he got peritonitis, whatever.
I'm sure it just got septic.
A bad stomach ache.
Yeah.
Bad tummy ache. And he finally sucks it up and goes to the hospital like 4 days later, where it's like, oh, I slipped and fell in a plunger. But by that point, it was too late. All of his poo-poo juice had leaked into his tummy, and he died.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually, I believe, maybe it was Gus Van Sant. Don't count. That part I might be wrong on. But Mr. Hands has a movie about him. So if you've ever wondered, like, you know, hey, there aren't enough movies about sex with animals out there, I got you covered.
Who's the director who did Antichrist?
Oh, Lars von Trier.
Yeah, I could see him doing something like that.
Yeah.
And just showing us. Actually, what you showed at your party was the scene going over and over again. Would probably be the entire movie. Would just be a bunch of people
just
watching.
Where does the horse boning go?
And then
Act
somebody
one?
punches the horse in the ding dong. It's like really, they smash it with a hammer.
You sound like baby Eddie Murphy at the start of Raw when he's like, and then the monkey kicked the lion in the ding dong. Or was it the lion that kicks the monkey in the ding dong? You guys don't know what I'm talking about.
The monkey.
Just look up Raw
I
intro
know
Eddie
Raw.
Murphy.
I watched.
You've watched it?
Yeah, and Delirious.
Oh, who's the famous guy in
That
the
guy,
intro of Raw?
Duh.
Shut up and sit down. It's
that one guy.
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's
You're a
true.
Disgrace. So.
I'm just still kind of mentally processing. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I've seen such horrible things in my young life, but
I'm not going to play the Mr. Hands video at a public access
no thank you.
station. That could be frowned upon. Just go out there, my junior G-men, and search it up for yourself. So, speaking
Honestly,
the
that
edge.
movie sounds better than what we watched.
Speaking of experiences akin to what Mr. Hands went through, we all sat through Curse of Chucky, a very bad film that I picked seemingly out of a hat for all of us to watch because I wanted something that we could get on Netflix.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, because had you guys paid for that, you would have killed me. Is your mic working? Or your phones are dead right now? Hold on. Working now?
I'm just going to make hand signals. You can
Working
keep talking.
now? Okay.
No. Move it over towards this way.
Okay. Is this working?
There we go.
Hey.
Oh, okay. I will keep my hands
Lean with
in
it,
my
brother.
lap
Lean
like a
with
good
it.
little boy. So I figured, what could be that bad about, like, Chucky 1 billion? I think this is Chucky 6.
Chucky 6.
There's been
Chucky
a few.
6. Like, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, they've made a ton of those, and the
Yep.
Freddy's, and they've all been, like, vaguely watchable. They're crap, don't get me wrong.
You could still sit through them and find some pleasure.
Yeah, and that wasn't possible
No, not
when it
even
came to
close. Okay,
Curse of Chucky.
15 seconds maybe.
Was good.
Yep.
Which 15 seconds?
So, in this Child's Play movie.
Well, should we
I
just
don't
tell
think it's
people what Child's Play is?
I
About an
really
evil
hope
doll.
people know, but Chucky the doll, he's a good guy doll.
A
And-
serial killer
Ironically
soul
titled.
Right.
inhabits the body of a doll that's kind of a play on Cabbage Patch. It's called a
Absolutely.
good guy doll. And the whole premise is this serial killer, now in doll form, kills people. So I can see how that was like,
What else are you going to do when you're a doll?
I can play with your little non-existent doll dick.
Right.
It's gone. I don't...
I'd go crazy.
Somehow
too.
the first one had like a decent Rotten Tomatoes rating. That's like what really blew me away. I think Ebert gave it 3 out of 4.
I think it was more suspenseful. It just.
Oh, really?
it
There's
just
a little more
had-
art.
Yeah, there's a little more art. I mean, there was a little more scary, dark corner kind of stuff. Where, as in this one, if you knew somebody was behind the curtain, they were behind the curtain, and there was no reveal, and nothing was there to really shock you.
Well, I think
Except for that one time it was the wind.
Butters and
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to ask you questions because you're something of the horror expert on the show.
I do like a lot of crappy horror,
And so
if that's what you want to call it. This movie may have been worse than the indie horror that I did. And now you guys haven't seen that yet,
No, can you
but
put
we
that on
will
the site or
talk
something?
about that later.
That's just
No,
hard
I
to
will not
believe.
share it with the public. However, the Papa's Basement audience wants to hit me up.
At
I may
Pete
be able.
Maybe
I
on
might
Twitter.
be able to treat you to a little bit of that travesty.
I would be very.
And
How about
please
we?
be
Can
nice
we
to
watch
me.
that as like the final video for Halloween?
Yes, but I do not want to give the people who made this film any credit whatsoever.
That
If that's
bad, eh?
okay.
Okay, I mean,
I think I'm all right.
the name of
I'm
the
also
show
the only
is
one who
copyright
ever
infringement, so
read the script, and God, it was just god awful. People just showed up and
Well,
they
I
were
wanna
like,
do
"This is the
that
first
for,
time
like-
I had ever been here, so we'll figure out how to film it." It'll be fine.
I would laugh if we could watch that on YouTube or something like that.
I don't think you can find it on YouTube.
Okay,
I think a lot of it's been taken down. But I'll bring up some stuff.
All right, guys, and by the way, I'm going to need you both to do the Periscope element because we got everyone to play along at home. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
Move the
are.
mic. And those guys probably want to bring up what they thought were the highlights of Child's Play. I just want to say, as a film student, which means I went to community college for 7 weeks and took Screenplay 101 or whatever the hell it was that I took, Chucky didn't even have the goddamn common courtesy to employ the 3-act structure.
No.
Usually, here's how a movie works really quickly. You get 30 minutes in. 30 minutes, we are introduced to our characters, and at 30 minutes, their life swerves. For example, in Predator, we see the badasses for 30 minutes. 30 minutes in, Predator starts picking them off. Boom, their life
There we
has
go.
swerved.
We know these people.
Aliens, we get 30 minutes with Lieutenant Ripley. Was she Lieutenant? No, she was just Ripley.
Just Ripley.
Ripley, 30 minutes in, they're like, do you want to come with the Space Marines to the planet's surface? Boom. Her life has changed. She could have just been chilling in the space station taking fancy space poops. 30 minutes into Chucky, nothing's really happening. Like, we know from Jump Street that the doll's a killer. He kills someone like 3 minutes in.
Yeah, there was no time.
That is what
No
is
establishment of characters whatsoever.
Yeah, that
Right.
should have been the dramatic, like, in any movie where you have a killer doll, I'm going to hazard a guess that 30 minutes in, the doll does its first killing. And that's your twist. Holy
Not
crap.
immediately.
Yeah, but they they stick it in without a lot of foreplay when it comes to Curse of Chucky.
Ooh.
Chucky
They didn't spit on it or talk dirty or anything.
No, Chucky's
Which,
just...
by the way, he didn't even talk that much in this one.
Oh, and when he did.
Well, when he did, though.
When
boy,
he did.
he.
It was like a pretty girl who couldn't talk dirty, and you just wanted
gold.
to shove her panties in her yapper.
Oh, it's
Butters,
gold.
you don't have to endorse that statement. It was bad. Like, I will say one scene I remember, a girl is on her laptop, and he dumps a bucket of water at her feet, and it hits
Oh,
a
I
socket,
love
and
this
she
line.
fries. And he goes, women can't live with them. Period. It was so bad.
Oh, it's gold.
It was so bad, but I want to go and...
So he gets his first kill in after like 3 minutes. And then from there on, there's a family that comes because this lady lives with her mom.
Well, yeah, okay.
And the rest of her extended family comes in there to show up and be a bunch of assholes to her.
And again, we're not going to summarize the film because it has no structure. It's not worth it.
absolutely
Basically, the room of horror movies.
I want to do the Frank Costanza, it's Festivus, and this is the airing of grievances. So I just want to talk about why I hated it. But Jay, back to you.
And that's fine. I just wanted it to, because they bring a little girl, and then that's supposed to move the film forward, is why this doll keeps moving around the house, and that's how they can kind of explain it.
Except that she's missing the whole time.
Exactly. This movie was nobody really thought this through. That little girl at the beginning, you know how she goes, she finds the doll, she finds it
well, there's
in the
a little
bathroom?
girl who's the niece of a chick in a wheelchair.
Of our
right?
heroine.
Yeah, the chick in the wheelchair. By the way, the movie starts out with like a FedEx guy dumping off the doll for her and then just like macking on her hardcore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I don't want to say it's awkward. Like, she's obviously just a hot actress who's in a wheelchair.
Oh, and boy, could she play that wheelchair angle.
Yeah, but
She really dragged herself up
she
those stairs.
but it was just this weird in all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Where he's just really trying to plow a chick in a wheelchair, which again, go for it. If I recall, Ray Liotta at one point, right after Goodfellas, was banging a girl in a wheelchair.
I think it's awfully
Good for him.
progressive. And that was not the only progressive thing that happened in this movie.
A lot of weird stuff. That's how I say progressive.
Yeah.
But it just started things off on an odd note, especially because the FedEx guy is never heard from again.
Yeah.
It's not like that was a little kernel for us to pick up later, and like the FedEx guy
I know.
is delivering.
He's like, I thought I had an easy in for the dumper.
Yeah,
And then she just turned me away.
It's not like in the last 15 minutes the FedEx guy shows up and he's delivering a machete and then he like beheads Chucky with it.
I really thought he was coming back.
No, everyone did watching it, and we just started off with this chick getting like, he was trying for wheelchair sex.
That's it.
He's like, oh, does that chair have a hole in the back,
Does
Mama?
that do it for you, audience?
It was just an odd note to start off on.
Maybe he was an actor and they couldn't afford him.
I also wonder
for,
what
like-
happens to the other packages he has to deliver. He's on the clock.
Yeah, he's on the clock, but he's like, hey, you live with your
He's got
mom.
one really important package.
I live with my mom too. Is she here? Can I come inside? It really, with like, had she only taken any improv training and went yes and to the scene, we would have had a porno.
Yeah.
And not a horror film. Like, maybe Chucky would have joined in at some point, but again, I assume in a sexual capacity,
Yeah,
not a knifey
just to
capacity.
narrate.
So I have a series of questions for you, Jay, as
Sure.
the horror expert.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you guys notice that they thought it was super important? This little girl, she was maybe what, 7, 8? That they needed the Foley for her pissing in the toilet. Did anybody else notice
I like that you
'Cause-
always remember that word, and I always forget it.
When
Foley
you
is the guy that
say-
does sound effects.
and
oh,
it was
yeah, no,
so,
there was a light tinkle.
I was like, why is that necessary for the film? It was so weird. It was like dead silent, and then they're like, yep, she's peeing.
We hear, yeah, you're right. She
And
had
they
a
like showed her on the
strong little
toilet, and it was
scream.
like, I thought it was just such a weird direction.
It really brought me into the mix.
Yeah, totally.
personally.
I was
She
like,
could have, you're right, just kind of walked in the crapper and then seen Chucky.
Would've
but
been just
instead
fine.
We hear
why
her
is that necessary?
really audibly urinate, and it was loud in the
It
mix.
was so loud.
One thing, again, we were just throwing S at the wall. angry
So did the movie.
S, because the movie took 90 minutes of my life. I hated the casting. The preacher, the guy playing the priest.
Oh my god,
He was the most awkward man I've
He
ever seen.
looks
in my
not
life.
a preacher whatsoever.
There's no way that dude isn't a retired porn star.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was T.T. Boyd. Or that was like Rocco Siffredi. That guy looks
He's not
nothing
retired.
like a priest. T.T. Boyd hasn't hung him up yet. That dude really, something almost maybe Henry Rollins with AIDS. Like thin, close-cropped hair, silver.
So weird, yeah.
I
thought
think he was
like
on
in Sons
Clooney
of,
the whole
he
time.
was on Sons of Anarchy or something.
Yeah, thank you. He looks like a guy who played a Sons of Anarchy Nazi, like
Yeah.
circa season 6 or
He's
something.
not a priest. He also said "Amen" when he finished his prayer.
Oh, man.
Amen. It's like, what?
That bugged
They
the
did
hell
not
out of
care.
me. What else do we have? Anyone want to jump in here as I go through? I have an actual list of crap.
Well, I have just general grievances for sure. For
Okay.
one thing, the filming of it. Why all the slow-mo? Why all the black and white with random things colored in?
I think it's because they didn't have enough to film. They
Maybe-
only wrote it on like several napkins, and they were like, "We're gonna shoot this
Is
really
it because
fast.
we're like
We gotta slow the
stupid,
film down."
and so they have to show us in color what we focus on? Like there's a scene with Chucky and everything's black and white, but Chucky's in color, and it's like,
Oh yeah,
hey, the murder doll. He's the core of this.
Yeah.
I resented it.
yeah. It is kind of silly. And then so progressive wise though, we did have two chicks making out, and that's my 15 seconds of the film that I did like.
That was the only thing I
Oh,
cared
that's your
about.
Not that I
15
want to
seconds.
be a pig like that, but as bad as this movie was,
Oh yeah, out of nowhere.
at least there was that.
The hot mama bear MILF
Out of
along with
nowhere.
the younger au pair or whatever they have. Yeah, they're just like, I hate you more.
Yeah,
because that's how people
The
kiss.
only good twist in the movie, though, because they did a good job of feigning the dad being
Yeah.
sort of a pig.
And then they don't
and
have the
trying to
damn
bone
common
her.
courtesy to get them both topless.
Yeah, that
like
was
it's a horror
messed up.
film. Come on.
We're taking 5 seconds.
It really. And what do they think they're going to go on
Me
to
too.
from here? Schindler's List 2? I mean, like your careers, I think, have a very limited trajectory, ladies. Okay, the scene that I thought was the kind of funniest was let's just say Cripple Girl. I forget her name. Crippy is.
I don't remember either.
There's
Don't care.
a segment where she learns the identity of Chucky via a Google search. And might I just say, she has the most fruitful Google search I have ever. She is start to finish in 30 seconds. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
tease this at all. This chick hops on and she's just like, this doll seems familiar. And she just types in like, murder doll. And then
Yeah.
it links to a
Evidence.
bunch of doll murders. And she's like, okay.
And
then
they're
it's
all exactly pointing towards the Chucky doll.
And then it goes like murder doll inhabited by soul of serial killer ? And she clicks on that, and then suddenly, like 3 clicks later, in this Google search, she has figured out that Chucky is a little possessed demon doll. Like,
If only I.
who searches like that? Like, who doesn't like click on one thing and then you're like, let me look at the Wikipedia to see who was the voice of Rocco in Rocco's Modern
If
Life.
only I had such luck when I was looking for porn.
Exactly.
Like if I Googled
You know that-
all these characteristics of this mystery woman,
That one
and
with
it
the
showed
huge
up on the
boobs.
front page.
And she gave great head.
Oh, how lucky is she?
Yeah, and then of course you find out.
But she has great internet. No cell phone reception.
Yeah, that too. The house, which is about 150
Use
years
the
old,
internet,
is hardwired
dumbass.
like crazy.
Well, I think that was after the power went out, which I'm sure had something to do with there not being a cell tower nearby.
And yet their router was still alive.
Yeah.
There are a lot of holes.
So many holes, so little time.
Yeah, because they were FaceTiming. The two chicks were FaceTiming that were intertwined romantically.
Mm-hmm.
Could have got naked there. But also, they were using the damn internet.
Yeah, and then the power goes down, and yet
But even
the
before
internet
that,
is
there was
still
no
on.
cell reception
It
or
was
anything
just,
like that. It was just like, I don't get.
Oh, and then like my last question, it's like a white family.
Very
From
white.
what I gathered, fairly white. Their dad's
Soup's
a little,
They're
a
getting
little dusky.
they're getting house money white. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But the dad looked like Benjamin Bratt, I think was his name. Wasn't that the dude that was like banging Julia Roberts for a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Now I have
Let me
to
double
Google
check that, yeah.
Yeah, let's bring everything to a halt.
He does look like that guy though. But no, So what
Yeah,
I had.
exactly. So
Oh, it is the guy.
yeah, why then
Good Google search.
in the flashback scene? Thank you. Exactly. Two searches later, I'll find out Benjamin Bratt is possessed by a serial killer's soul. Why in the flashback are these two white kids, like a little fat Mexican kid?
Yeah.
is playing
Oh,
the-
not even
The
close.
chick that grows up to be a white woman.
Super white.
And she's like really chubby and really Mexican.
Like Housewives of New York.
She should have been
White.
on like Housewives at Tijuana.
Yeah.
The mom that had this one, like her little hand should have been filled with chiclet.
She had a very scary face.
Yeah,
I
just
would
this
also like
little
to-
fat Mexican face, and yet then
Which
they
was
cut to the
I meant
present.
the adult, but
Oh.
all right, true colors coming out.
Yeah. It was scary and brown. I rolled up my windows just to be safe.
Yeah.
It
Tried to use my credit card.
it was just a very jarring thing because you're like, I think that's supposed to be the one that grows up to be the cougar, but the cougar's a white lady, and this little girl's a Mexican.
Super white cougar.
Well, speaking of, the only black person in the entire movie is a postal worker. So
That's true to life. That's true to life.
Yeah, right at the end. Oh, and she had a bad attitude. She was like, I ain't having none of this.
Very
well,
true.
to be fair, she was dealing with an insane woman.
Yeah, Jennifer Tilly. Sorry to ruin it for
What
you
about
guys.
Jennifer Tilly?
She got top billing in this, and she was in there for maybe like 4 minutes.
You're
I
being
thought that-
generous. She was in, I want to say, a long 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Jennifer
It was
Tilly
insane.
with
they
her
were like,
weird voice.
They were like, Jennifer Tilly, and then they showed the cast.
The one thing I really
like, oh,
loved
this is
Jennifer
awesome.
Tilly for was she got like obviously fake ones, but you still love them.
Yeah, I think
They just spill out. And
sweet.
She's kind of aging into them. She's now just the buxom coog type.
I'm okay with them.
And who's which guy on The Simpsons? Was it James L. Brooks? No, it's the dude I think that just kicked. I think she was like, she has Simpsons money.
Ooh.
Like she was the chick with one of the Simpsons guys, and then they got split. And she is like buku
Oh
Simpsons
yeah, she's
bucks.
doing just fine.
Oh yeah, so as much as
So
you're
why is
like,
she doing Chucky?
yeah, I
Maybe that's FU film stuff. She doesn't care.
that's her version of doing like this podcast. You know, it's just like, hey, I got a Thursday to kill.
We should ask her to come on.
So she was not in the previous Chucky movies?
Oh no, she
She
was.
was-
She was in Bride of
Okay.
Chucky and other stuff like that.
She
I
is-
was wondering what her role was.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
The little Chucky at some point had like a Chucky chick, and like a girl killer doll with him, and she was the voice.
Makes sense, right?
Tiffany, I think, was the name, or at least her name in the
Yeah,
movie.
I think so.
And yeah, so I guess she like got into a human body or whatever the hell. There was just so much bad in this.
There-
Like they
yeah.
showed
Oh.
the guy that plays Chucky, or the guy the serial killer that Chucky came from.
Yeah. And by the way, in a flashback, funniest scene for me, very distinct. Like he's wearing sunglasses as he's spying on the family.
That he
Super
murdered.
distinct. Ray-Ban's logo, like, and
Yeah.
it's right into your face.
That
and
was
it
the
was,
one
they were,
spot
I was
where
like,
they could land.
I was like, nice, sick Ray-Bans, dude.
Oh God,
It's
yeah.
in the flashback. It's
No one would
such-
want it to be associated with this. Like they're drinking sodas called like Cola brand soda and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but somehow Ray-Bans.
Mountain Doctor.
Look for the guy that plays Chucky. He looks exactly like Tommy Wiseau from The Room, which as soon as you say The Room, you have to play this.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
There you go.
Lisa!
God bless that. Now that's a funny one, but that's been done to death. I
Yeah.
feel like all you guys into your elitist LA podcast have probably heard a million things about The
Even
Room.
they won't touch it anymore.
This can be the next The Room. We can make it happen.
There's nothing even like playfully bad about it. It's just painful. It
Yeah.
really is insultingly. I felt bad making you guys watch it. I felt bad that I told I'm not playing around with that. I really was like, this is where it all comes to bite you in the ass, Papa Giorgio. I felt like, when you have like unprotected sex and the next day you're like, what was I thinking?
Oh God, yeah,
Like,
that aching pit.
Yeah, just like, look at all her MySpace friends, you definitely got something. Not that I definitely went through that several times in 2006. Yeah, it's
They're
just,
still with us.
I didn't, parts of me. I didn't like that people had to watch this. It was that bad. Like, not again, chuckle bad. It was just a really horrible film.
It was
And
terrible.
yet they're making another one.
They're
from
making
what
a
I've heard.
6 in 2016.
Is that 6 or 7?
No, sorry, 7 in 2016.
Yeah, and I can't. This is where, like, my complete not comprehending why people get into horror.
You can't complete? You got completion anxiety?
Oh, God.
Chucky?
Is it because you're male?
So many, yeah.
So many bad lines.
Yeah, he should have retorted, yes, it is, because no woman has to suffer
I have
from
no
that.
D.
Yeah, first of all, yeah.
That's time for you to die.
He's a little flat Ken doll area there.
I just can't. Everybody just sits there and waits to get murdered, too. Just sit down and wait to die.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. We'll try to find something not quite as bad for, we got, what, 2
want
more
something
weeks of this or
campy.
something?
I don't think it's possible, yeah.
I want something campy. Yeah, I think anything we get from here on out is going to be great.
All right.
I give it 4 cups out of 5 cups of bleach that it took to walk.
I thought you were going to rate it penthouse style on a scale of hard-ons.
Hard-ons?
I thought it was cups of blood since it's horror, but that doesn't really
it doesn't even deserve cups of blood.
evoke anything.
To just, get rid of the taste.
Well, we can get out of here. Unlike Child's Play, we know when to haul ass.
We know when to stop.
Yeah, so let's play this Friday. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you like the horror segment. Anything either of my people want to add here? Pete, maybe, or Butterworth?
We know when to pull out.
No, you made the ending so bad.
Well, I can't possibly follow that up, so.
No, just let that sit here like the bad fart it is. All right, this was Papa's Basement. I'm John Papa Giorgio. You want to get a hold of me on Twitter at Papa's Basement, website inpapasbasement.com. What, can you not hear the...
No, I was just about to say, we do still have a contest going on if anybody wants to show us in your Halloween costumes. I know that it's still a bit early, so we'll wait for those submissions to judge those.
Is this
after the next one?
Where we're doing this to get sexy girls to do it, but it's just going to be like dudes dressed like the Joker?
It may be just a little bit like that, but
and let's be honest,
we take all kinds here.
If they're guys into talk radio, there's going to be a lot of like 3XL sized purple jackets in these Joker costumes.
They've got the money. Bring it on.
It wasn't a money thing. It was a weight thing.
Well, just saying, if they want to, if they want company, right. That's what they're going for.
Okay, so send to at Papa's Basement on Twitter or Facebook.com/Papa's Basement pictures of you in your costume. Are we going to share these? Where does this contest go?
Yeah, we'll share them.
We'll share them.
We'll share them, but the winners get their pick on the merch site. So
okay,
we'll put that up a little bit later. And you guys won't hear this till next week, anyways, and we're praying for you. I
more than anything want pictures of you with your pets, actually, but the pets in costume.
There we go.
And they have to look miserable.
That could win too.
Yeah.
That's a requirement.
The pet has to look like it'll claw out your eyes in your sleep.
That could win too.
All right. There's a contest. Pet costumes. Pets
Thanks,
that hate
guys.
you. Pets that will kill you in your sleep like Chucky. All right. At
nice.
Pete Maybe.
At
for
Pete
this guy.
Maybe.
At Is Butter Worth It.
That's correct.
For that one. I'm just smiling at you. All right. Till the next one. Anything left?
Smiles.
All right. We're out of here.
We're home free. School's out, baby.
Good show?
Nothing to talk about, nothing to critique. Great show, great guests tomorrow. You go home, have a glass of wine, whack off. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's the post-show critique?
Yeah, you're the best.
It's my time to go. I successfully burned all my bridges. Nobody loves me, and I don't love nobody.
Then he said penis.
Yeah. Then he said masturbation.
Then he said vagina. That was cool.
Had a mighty hard time, but I'm on my way. Had a mighty hard time, but I'm on my way. It's a mighty hard climb, but I'm on my way. On my way, glory, hallelujah, I'm on my way.